Good morning, everyone. Come on in. We're going to give just a second for everyone to come in. But today is our Fashion and Faith Friday. So for those of you who might be joining us on YouTube, don't forget, if you are a Premier Designs jeweler and you are not already a part of our Buffy's Toolbox group, you can come on over and request to join. And as soon as I am able to verify that you are a jeweler, I will go ahead and get you added to that page. There's all kinds of different information, things that I share on there. Good morning, Shannon. Different things that I share on there, such as tools that I use, different graphics that I've created, or different documents, etc., things like that. But of course, we also go live in that group. So then you can be a part of the live interaction and be able to, chit chat with us while we're doing this broadcast versus having to, discuss things later. Does that make sense? All right, so today we are going to talk a little bit about prints on tops, okay? We do have a couple people in here now, so I'll go ahead and ask the question, but how many of you ladies, good morning, Rachel, how many of you ladies get a little scared when it comes to printed tops, especially ones with higher necklines, and you feel like, well, the only thing that I can do with that is just earrings and arm parties? Okay, anybody ever feel that way when it comes to a printed top that has some sort of design, some sort of lines, something like that? Anyone ever feel like that? So here's the thing. So I'm hoping that today is going to kind of stretch your thinking a little bit, because I can't tell you the number of times that I have had people say, oh, well, if that's a printed top, it's a little too busy. Maybe don't do a necklace. I think just some big, bold earrings, some, an arm party, things like that. That's going to be what's good. But I want to show you ladies how, and literally, I went through my jewelry this morning very quickly and was just kind of like, let me grab some things real fast that I think would pair very well with this. And then of course I also got the opinion of my daughter at the same time, just to kind of find out, okay, like, am I weird or does this work? And she's like, no, it works. But here's the problem. Many times we think that when we put a necklace on with a printed top, that it's going to be kind of like this, okay? That it is truly just going to get lost. You're not even going to see it. But the trick is doing a necklace that is bold. Okay? A necklace that is bold, either bold color or bold design, it is going to work. Okay, so you might just have to play around with it a little bit, but I have, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different necklaces that I just grabbed real quick, and I'm kind of like, you know what, these work. Why is everybody always so scared of prints? Okay, so you ladies are going to get to give me a yay or a nay on what you think about these different necklaces with this shirt. Okay, so the first one that we have, and I'm trying to see if this is, I literally just got this one, just pulled it out of the box this morning. All right, so yay or nay for Shoreline. Yay or nay for Shoreline. I'm going to give y'all a couple minutes. Now, of course, don't look at the fact that I'm wearing gold. I'm doing that because the very last one that I put on is what I'm going to keep on. All right. So yay or nay for the Shoreline. Again, not with. Okay. Danielle says no. Let's see. What does everybody else think? Okay, here's the thing. Here's why this can work. Even though it blends a bit, the design is different so you can still see it. So for those of you who don't want a big, bold statement, you could still get away with this. People are still going to see it, okay? Even though it blends in, you're still going to see it, all right? But let me show you the next one. Okay, and here's where you're going to see there is no tried and true, because some are going to like it, some aren't. Okay, so it's a matter of personal preference, but I also want to get you ladies out of the mindset of thinking that if you have a printed top that you can't do a necklace, because you absolutely can. All right, so here's another one. Let me save that one. I'm gonna do all the silvers first. Okay, so here's another one. Okay, so we have the Hampton. All right, and what do you ladies think of that one? Candace says many people like understated instead of bam. Exactly. Exactly. Because here's the thing, as jewelry ladies, we're like, man, whatever makes it just like pop and stand out. Okay. But not everybody feels that way when it comes to accessories. All right. So Hampton, here we have some yays. Now, I think part of the reason why this tends to work a little bit better is because you do have the contrast of the mixed metals. And you also have those bling, crystals and things like that. So that tends to kind of pull it out a little bit more than what it would the Shoreline. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to move on to my golds and brass. Okay. All right. So this is another one. All right. So here's another one for you. And this is more of a bolder statement, but it is still sticking with the color palette, okay? All right, so what about this one? Do y'all like it? Yay or nay? Yay or nay? This is the Blanca. Do you guys like this one? Yay or nay? I hate how it takes so long for these comments. Okay, so again, this is still a little more on the understated in the sense of, while it is a big, bold piece, it's not like in your face color for those who like to stay with a softer color palette. Okay. Now, there are some who don't care about staying with a softer color palette, that they want that bam. Okay. They want that gorgeousness of color to just be right out there. Okay. Jenny says it's cute, but I wouldn't wear it. Not my style. Listen, girl, it wasn't my style either till I got it. Now I keep wearing it. All right. Okay. You ready for the next one? You ready? Ready. Okay. All right. So of course this is throwing that pop of color in there. And for some people, they are going to love this. For other people, they're going to be like, maybe still a little too much pop of color for me, because again, some people like that softer color palette. I personally love the pops of color. Okay. But I do want to show you two other pieces that I feel like are kind of that go-between. Okay. It's going to add some color. It's not going to allow it to be overly bold. Okay, so you might find that for some of your customers, some of the other pieces here that I have might be more up their alley. Okay, all right, so first we have the Brazil. All right, now one of the reasons why I love this is because it does have some color to it, but it also is a little more on the casual. Okay, so I really love this piece, again, because you have that high contrast in color, but it's not like in your face bold, but it's bold enough that you're going to see this on me if I'm walking down, walking down the street or walking down through the store or things like that. Okay, so I personally love this one with it, and mainly because, again, sometimes I like to have a little bit of, I hate to say kind of matchy, but to a degree. And if you notice, I don't know if y'all have this necklace, but if you don't, and I don't know if you can even see, but even all the little beads here have kind of like that, it's almost like a gray splatter. So to me, this works well because it's going to go right along with that kind of grayish splatter on my shirt. Okay, so I love this one, but I also love this one here. And hang on, because some of my necklaces on the other side here were too heavy and it was going to make my little thing fall here. Okay, all right, so another one that could pair very well with this. Yes, exactly, Rachel. Okay, and then another one that can go well is going to be the Cape Cod. Okay, so again, this is going to just kind of help to add some of that color. But for those who the summer chic is like too much boldness in their face and they don't really like that one, okay, then this would be something else that could go with it. So again, a lot of it is going to be personal preference, okay? And I have to try to get all my little like strands here lined up well. Because even with this shirt, okay, this shirt is kind of like, it's actually kind of hard to tell, but it's almost like a, kind of a gray, like a heathered gray, but then the stripes, I don't know what color they look on there, but it's actually almost like a light tan, okay? So for some, that could also be why the colors are seeming a little off. I don't know what the coloring looks like for you on that end, but it is kind of like a light tan. So that's why, especially like even the bronze and that kind of thing. Aloha might work well. I don't know. I don't have that one. So I was just grabbing some different things. But again, my biggest thing was I want to make sure, yeah, and that's what I was thinking is the coloring might be off for you guys. But these light colored stripes, they're actually like a pale tan, and then it's a gray heathered. So you have a little bit of, yeah, yes. So I wondered if that might have been part of it. But so yeah, so there's lots of different things that you could put with this. It's not even specifically which ones go great with this specific top. It's more a matter of get out of the thinking that you can only do longer necklaces on plain tops. Okay, everybody thinks, well, if it's going to be a long necklace, then you got to have a solid colored shirt. And that's really not true. Okay, you can do it with things as long as your design on the necklace is a contrast to kind of the design that you have going on. And also that color, all right? Like I love the summer chic, but again, for some people, that's too bright. It's too bold because they don't do the pinks, the corals, the, you know, those kind of colors. So they might want something that's a little bit more, you know, on the bluer side. Okay. But either way, it's just a matter of, I hope that this allows you to see prints in a different way and understand that you don't have to have a solid colored top or an open neckline to wear the jewelry. Okay, you truly don't. And I hear that all the time. And in fact, we even kind of coach our guests at shows that, hey, if you wear a solid colored top, you're going to get extra entries into our door prize or whatever. Okay, but you don't need that. Good morning, Kimberly. All right. So Erin, again, even for a busier print. Okay, so let's say this was like a floral design. Y'all, you could truly still get away with like, especially that summer chic, because it is a nice bold necklace. It has the multi-strands and everything. It's not going to get lost on that print. Okay. So you just want to kind of just play around with things. Don't be afraid to play around with it. What one person's rules are for fashion is not another person's. What one person says looks great, another one may not feel the same. Okay. So it's just one of those. And listen, look, I give them auction dollars for having a solid colored top on, but I also, a lot of times, at least I used to anyway, until I started doing the 3 different looks like on myself, I used to always wear a printed top to my shows because I wanted to show people you don't have to have a solid color. It's just going to help you when you're trying on multiple pieces and trying to really get an idea as to what that's going to look like for you. But yes, every single one is different. Y'all saw, even by me asking yay or nay, everyone has an opinion, okay? So one of the tips that I would like to leave you with, first off, is don't forget about those printed tops. You can absolutely accessorize them. It's just going to be a matter of personal opinion. Don't feel like, well, I got to ask so-and-so if this looks good or, you know, what they would pair with it, whatever. I see this all the time, especially on like the Jewelers Only page. I see so many times where people are posting going, what would you wear with this top? Well, the downfall to that is Everyone is going to have a different opinion, first off. Second off, they might be naming off pieces you don't even own. Okay? Nobody knows what's in your jewelry box except for you. So if you want to add a fun little twist to that, one of the things that you could do is do a this or that post. So you post a picture of yourself with the pieces that you think look great with it. Do just one or two pieces, okay? And take a picture of yourself in this one and then in that one, and then post it on your fan page or on your Instagram or on your Facebook, whatever. Post it and ask people this or that. Which one would you choose? Okay? And people love to give their opinion. That is a great way to be able to up some of the activity that you're seeing on your page. And it also allows them to feel like they're kind of giving an opinion. And then look, once you do that, then post a selfie later on that day to say, this is the one that I went with. This was the, whatever you want to say. This was the diva choice, or this was the whatever. Call it whatever you want. But to say, look, y'all helped me get dressed this morning. This is what I wound up deciding to wear. Thanks so much for your comments, and things like that. People love to see that. And it kind of allows them to maybe in the back of their mind start thinking, I wonder if I could do this business, because I just helped her pick that out and she wound up wearing one of the things that I suggested. So, maybe I could do this business. Okay. Just something to think about. All right. So now we get to the faith portion, and this is one that I feel like is going to be a fairly quick one. We all know how that goes sometimes, right? Okay, but I feel like this is a fairly quick one because it's something that actually my dear hubby pointed out in Bible study. And it was kind of like, why do we fear so much? Why do we allow our anxieties to get so high when God promises us this? Okay, so in Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 1, it says, when you go out to battle against your enemies and see horses and chariots and people more numerous than you, do not be afraid of them, for the Lord your God is with you, who brought you up from the land of Egypt. Okay? Listen, he is with these people in actual battle, like in war. And how do you think that was to be a leader of, the people in that war, knowing they couldn't lose, knowing that they could have true confidence that they were going to be victorious over this because God is with them at all times. And they don't need to fear their enemies. They don't need to fear the horses or the chariots or the multitudes of people. They don't need to fear that. I'm so sorry, y'all. Somebody from Colorado just decided to try and call me, and it interrupted my broadcast. Because my house phone is linked to my cell phone. Good morning, Chantel. So it is very important for us to remember that, again, God is with us all the time, yet we fear these like silly things. And I know to us, they don't seem silly, but in light of it, I want you to think about it this way. You picking up the phone or texting that person or messaging that person or speaking to someone that you run into while you're out and about running your errands and things like that, contacting that hostess who had said that she would reschedule but never got a date on the calendar, or reaching out to someone who previously told you they were interested in the business opportunity but now you haven't heard from them in months, things like that. I want you to think about all those things, all those responsibilities that we have as jewelers that many of us fear doing. Is that truly a matter of life or death? I mean, the quick answer to that is absolutely not. We can pick up that phone and call somebody, and I promise you, you won't die. Okay? But even people whose lives were at stake God said, you don't need to fear that. You don't need to fear those enemies. You don't need to fear those horses, the chariots, the multitudes of people, because I am with you and I will deliver you from this. So why can't we get over picking up that phone? Why can't we get over messaging that hostess? Why can't we get over reaching out to people about fundraisers or doing shows or whatever? And I can tell you why. It's because the enemy is doing everything he can to make you believe that this business does not work. Because if he can make you believe that, he can make you walk away from it. If he can make you believe that there's nothing for you here in this business, then you might make the decision to not renew. You might make the decision to not pick up a phone, to call anybody else about this business, because you know what? I'm just going to let my license run out and I'm just going to be done. If he can make you believe that this business can be successful for other people, but not for you, then he can make you have the thought and the mindset to just give up on it. So that's why he instills those fears, those doubts, the stinking thinking, okay? He is constantly at battle with you. Constantly. But here's the thing. God tells you you do not need to fear your enemy. Right? So you don't need to fear your enemy, and you don't need to fear your circumstances, because he can deliver you from the worst of the worst. Then why do we allow such small things, such small tasks to make us feel like we can't do this? You absolutely can. And Chantel, you are so right. The devil is a liar and he will make you believe anything he possibly can. But here's the thing. He can only make you believe it if you allow him. Okay? He can only make you believe it if you give into it. He can only make you believe it if you let it seep into your brain and you let it sit there and dwell on it and you let it get into your heart and you let it get into your mind. Now listen, I am not above having those thoughts. I am not above dealing with those own things myself. But I have gotten much better at when that starts to come in. I immediately, in my head and in my heart, I immediately say, no, thank you, devil. You know what? Nice try, but no. No, I'm not going to believe you. You're a liar. You need to back down, because I am the daughter of a king, period. You ain't got nothing on me. You ain't got nothing on him. We're done here. You can go bother somebody else, okay? So that is the biggest thing that we need to be looking at. We need to make sure that we're not allowing fears to creep in, because y'all, God did not give us a spirit of fear, did he? And in fact, in the Bible, it says it, 365 times? Do not fear. Do you think that's because we needed a daily reminder? Do you think that's why that's there? Okay. So exactly. Chantel says, for God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of love, power, and of sound mind. And y'all, the devil will do anything he can to make you feel like you are not of sound mind. He will do anything he can to make you feel like you have no power. He will do anything he can to make you feel like no one loves you. Nobody cares for you. Nobody wants anything to do with you. Okay? And that's where that mindset comes into play of us going, oh, you know what? I know she said that at some point she wanted to reschedule, but I don't want to bug her. I don't want to bug her. I don't want to contact her because, she might get mad at me for reaching out to her, and I just don't want to do that. Or we tell ourselves even goofier things, okay, such as, no, you know what? Because it might be dinner time. Y'all, you don't know when people's dinner time is. You can't possibly know that, okay? But here's the thing. You can attempt to call, and if they answer, the first thing out of your mouth should be, hey girl, it's Buffy. Real quick, is this a good time for you to talk? I only have just a couple minutes. If it's not a good time for her to talk, she'll say, no, it's really not. Okay, no problem. Is there a better time for me to reach back out to you? That's all you have to do. All right. And a lot of people would say it's easier said than done, but it doesn't have to be that way. If you boot the devil out and you stop fearing these imaginary chariots and horses and multitudes of people who are out to seek, kill, and destroy you, there is only one who is out to do that, and that is the enemy. Because your fight is not with flesh. Your fight is a spiritual battle. And you need to tell the devil that he has no place in your life, in your house, in your business, in your heart, in your mind. You need to tell him to just be gone. And when those thoughts come into play, when you start having that stinking thinking, go, you know what? We're going to find out if my fear is actually reality. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pick up that phone and I'm going to call that hostess, or I'm going to text that hostess that I'm so scared to reach out to, and I'm going to contact that person just to see. And guess what? When you do that and you don't die, you can understand that your fears were nothing more. It doesn't matter whether she says yes or no. Listen, God is going to take care of you. And if she says no, perhaps it's just not the time that you're supposed to work with her. But it might have at least put a little bug back in her ear of, oh yeah, there's that jewelry lady and she's still doing this business. Okay? You got to love that. All right. Yes, Jenny says the enemy needs to fear me. Amen. Chantel says God is in charge of the process, but we as the individual are in charge of the progress. Yes. Okay, so here's the thing. We have to put ourselves in motion and we have to go out there and try and do something. If we don't, God has nothing to bless. Okay, so worst case, let's say that your imagined results actually come to fruition. Okay, let's say that your fear is that the person on the other end of that call or that text or that message is going to just chew you out. All right. Still, first off, did you die? The answer is no. Okay. Second off, if it is a person who is going to respond to you in that way, do you really want to work with them anyway? Okay. So think of it this way. That could have been God's way of showing you, look, this is a person you don't need to have in your business or in your life anyway. Okay? So here's the thing. You need to be okay with whatever those results are, but at least be willing to go in there and fight. Okay? I hope that makes sense to y'all. I truly pray that this was a blessing to you in some way, shape, or form, whether it be through the fashion portion or through the faith portion. Good morning, Myra. So I'm going to let y'all go, but of course, before we do that, I would just love to close us out in a word of prayer. If y'all would join me, I would absolutely love that. Lord, we just come to you humbled and thankful for all that you are, for all that you've done, for all that you will do, and for all that you are currently in the process of assisting us with in different areas of our life. And Lord, I just pray that each of the people watching this broadcast, that they come to a point of understanding that the devil is constantly knocking at the door of their hearts, but they have the right to say, no, you may not enter. And Lord, I just ask that you give them that boldness. I pray that you just cover them in so much boldness that they can speak up in the ways that they ought to. I also pray for anyone who's traveling. I pray for those who are going to be experiencing some bad weather this weekend. May you just keep them all safe and allow everyone to come back together again on Monday, joyful and happy for all that you've done, for all the blessings that they've been able to experience, and just to be children of yours. I ask this all in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, y'all. Thank you so very much for joining me. I so appreciate it. Monday, we will be back with our Motivational Monday. Look forward to seeing you guys then. And yes, you all rock. So just thank you guys for being here. Chantel says God will meet us at the point of our needs. We just have to believe. Absolutely. Love it. All right. Oh, Shannon, I'm going to miss you, dear. I'm going to miss you. So I will just be saying some prayers for you that you get to enjoy that spring break, right? All right. So y'all have a blessed weekend. I will see you guys again on Monday. Thank you.